Hey everybody, Slay here. Today I'm going to be flying my A6M1. As of late, I've been doing a lot of high tier gameplay. Uh, all my videos pretty much have been focused on around tier 10 and tier 9 and a bunch of ground attackers whatnot. But this was my original love in this game, was fighter aircraft and the Japanese line. So with this aircraft, you have two 7.7s and two 20s. It's pretty strong for its tier. In my opinion, if I'm going to fly tier 4 and I have a fighter mission, this is the plane I'm going to take out. I used to have the Bristol 146, which is a comparable British aircraft. That too is pretty strong. It's been called the Steel Clever tier 4. It's a great aircraft, but if you look here, even with its upgraded airframe, it's only got 80 maneuverability, so it's got an 8-second turn. And it only runs 803s, so it has no cannons. It wasn't until I found the Japanese line, started and went down it, things really started to heat up when I started playing the A6M1. I mean, look at the maneuverability on this thing, 94. It is truly a beast. And it has rocking tier 5 cannons for its main armament. It's just a really good aircraft. It's not fly, doesn't climb very high. But at tier 4 and tier 3, unless you're fighting a bomber, which if you see a bomber in your game, just ignore them and focus on fighters and the occasional heavy that comes in. But yeah, let's go ahead and take this one out. Again, this is the Japanese tier 4 A6M1 Zero. Now the Zero has definitely been one of my favorite aircraft throughout history. That and the P-38 Lightning line. I've always had a fascination with the P-38s, but if I'm going to look at any aircraft, especially from the Axis side, that I've always appreciated and liked, it was definitely the A6M1 and the Zero. This plane was iconic in a ton of movies, ton of books that I read, so it's just an all-around plane that I like. I'm very glad they have it here for us in World of Warplanes. So it says here queues here about what, minute 20? It's not too bad. Queued earlier. I got in about 30 seconds. So we'll see how this averages out. Now this plane could see both tier 5s and tier 3s. You're not going to see both obviously in the same game. So if I'm in a tier 4 and tier 3 game, then I'll be top tier in a tier 4, and then likewise, if I'm in a tier 5 game, then I'll be bottom tier in my tier 4. But this plane can handle its own. The only things that would take it out pretty easily is the more heavily armored things like the Hurricane 2 with its 420s will just shred this plane apart. But for the most part, you're going to definitely dominate the skies. So it looks like here I'm starting here, peripheral mission, foreign land. It's the one where there's a mining plant here at the bottom left, and they get a military base. I don't really like to be on the side with the mining plant, but we're going to go ahead and play this. Let's see where it goes. That beautiful plane right there. So I haven't gotten to see this plane with my winter camouflage. I don't think I've played this map in this plane. I usually play a lot of naval maps and maps over dry land, not on snow. So that's pretty cool. Looks like I am in a tier 4 game. Nothing but tier 4s. That's cool. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and turn down the audio just a little bit.
Pilots, get ready for
I had the audio turned up because I recorded a video earlier where it was just my gameplay, and for some reason the video got corrupted. It's pretty odd. So I'm going to go ahead and push hard into the airfield right here, and the reason I'm doing that is I'm going to let my multi-role aircraft go and take that garrison to the right, and it looks like my guys are already doing work on the plant to the left. We have a bomber and a ground attacker in that plant. So definitely the majority of the fight is going to be right here at the airfield. And what I like to do is, if I can get in here quick enough, then I can go disrupt them at their military base. Not trying to get a superiority, I like to rack up the points in this thing. It is a great aircraft to do that in. So if the enemy is going to be coming from anywhere over here, they're going to be coming from this direction. So I will know here in a second. The funny thing about playing these Tier 3 games is now the ground defense aircraft are HE-51s. So it's going to be kind of embarrassing. We'll tap this airplane build secure in just a second. There it goes. Now we have, what is here? Multi-roll. It's the player F2A. And now I'm about to have a lot of company. Probably should have turned my back on these guys, especially if there's another player there. But I want to defend this as best as I can. You want to kind of swap shots on a different aircraft in this thing. You're going to always be taking a lot of aircraft. But if you can find one that you can kill pretty easily, like this BF-109, take them out and immediately turn right back to your next target. Always go for something that looks like they're coming at you or coming close. So this HE-112 wants some. That would be pretty bad. But I heard him on the pass. So I'm going to come in, finish him off real quick, and immediately swap to the next aircraft, which is going to be this KI-43. Very lightly armored aircraft. I wish this were a repair field, as we like to call them, but it's not. So I'll probably die a few times here defending this. But as long as we hold this, it should be a fairly decent game. Because what will happen is their missile base will start shooting the airfield, but if they keep feeding us aircraft to kill, then it's going to reset that progress they're making on our airfield. So we have the F2A coming in again. I'm going to go ahead and single him out. Oh, he's AFK. I don't normally like to do this, but I don't want my bots down below. So just chase him like this. See, there's already 6 bots on his tail. It's probably going to die soon. Just launch some his way. Where's that? They have a ton of aircraft sitting at that garrison. So I've already racked up a 5K score, and we're about 30% through this game. I'm going to do something bold here. I'm going to go and push towards their missile base like I mentioned in the beginning. I have a couple options. I could go down to this swarm here, but if you look, it might not be the best idea, but you know what? I'm just going to do it. Yellow, right? So me and this BF-109 again. It's either going to be very bad or very good. I'm hoping it turns out pretty good for me. So it looks like the swarm is coming to me. I don't really have a choice. Who's that Bristol 146 I talked about earlier? These 803s. Those 303s are the same guns that are on the Venom. So I mean, it's very well suited for its tier. It's a tier 4, the Venom's tier 5. The Venom is an awesome aircraft to fly. Both British, of course. So take him out. Looks like we have just multiple fighters coming in. There's that HE again. Just kind of shooting fish in a barrel here. This plane is so maneuverable and it's so versatile at doing what I'm doing now. That's just sitting over a cap and defending. If you fired short bursts, you can make the best use of those cannons. A lot of people like to separate the cannons and the machine guns on aircraft. I haven't tried that myself, but one day I'll get skilled enough at this game that I can do that. Saw there my gun's overheated. This guy's pretty much dead, and these are gone. That took way too long. So behind me it looks like I have some fighters. That's a bomber. I mentioned earlier I'm not going to go after the bomber. Missile starts in 2 seconds, and as you look, that missile is coming right at this airfield. Unfortunately, it happened right after the giant group of planes came in, so I'm going to have to leave this airfield and take a look at this BF-109 that's coming at me. He's going in. Actually, they're all starting to filter back in, so my best bet might be to return back to the airfield, defend it real quick, seeing if I can go grab the attention of some bots. It's obviously not going to happen, so let's take this guy out. This thing is really just an assassin, though. Funny story, one time I was defending something similar like this. I was defending my cap. They had a missile base that was shooting the middle, and I actually got hit by the missile, which I didn't know could happen. And needless to say, that missile will one-shot you. It's pretty freaking hilarious. So beware. If there's missiles firing at your cap, you could definitely get hit by it, and you will just die instantly. It's horrible. Game's almost over here. 42 seconds it will be. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and clean up some of the last kills. Looks like I popped up a couple medals.
There's a heavy storm here.
Squall right
Unable
there.
to proceed. Return into base. Do you copy?
Waste my time taking that out. Got a heavy coming in. I want to ignore him. You don't go head on with the heavy in this thing. So that was the A6M1.
Victory is ours.
Like to just take it out for a spin, show everybody what it can do. A fairly solid game there at 15k score. Looks like I can pick up the Akamatsu medal for getting 400 capture points, destroying aerial targets with a fighter and a single sortie. I didn't die, like I said I was, but yeah, I didn't really have much of a challenge there. Picked up Wing Legend as well for getting over 14k, and it looks like I got Guardian for the 250 cap. I didn't quite make it all the way through the ranks, so no hero the Sky Badge. No big deal though. I hate maps with the factory, especially when you're playing your fighter. That's just literally time that it's taken away from the game. But fairly solid game there. I was able to rack it up real fast. The bots definitely were feeding me throughout the game. But hopefully I just give you guys a demonstration of what the A6M1 can do. It's a super maneuverable aircraft. It has very nice firepower. And it is no slouch in anything, really. The only thing it lacks in is going up to the higher targets like that bomber that I let pass me because my ceiling is so low. I'm not even going to bother trying to get up to them. But this was a tier 4 regular aircraft, non-premium. Looks like I finished the mission. That's why I got that extra 25k. So let's go ahead and just dig in real quick to this score. So I had a personal score of 1525, which was enough to net me 106,000 credits. And again, this is an aircraft that is not a premium aircraft, so 106,000 credits on a regular tier 4 is beautiful. You can't really beat that. Nowhere near an ace, only got 12 kills. The game was over way too fast. Unfortunately for the enemy team, their highest score was 5k, and my highest score was 7k. Good job, Taliban Days. I love that name. In your I-207. That multi-role, I don't have it yet. I'd like to try it out sometime. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If this video was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up. And take care and have a good day.